Okay, he's got them. He has got them. The Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, know that they have been rumbled.
The truth for Harry and Meghan is like kryptonite. It literally makes them dissolve.
Is completely over the top. It's ridiculous. It's farcical. It actually, to me, actually says that they're scared of Tom Bower. They're scared of what he's going to report because they know it's true. They know there's truth to it. If it's just deranged and crazy and fixation and whatever, then just ignore it.
Something strange just went down, and people are starting to pay real attention. Right in the middle of one of the biggest royal controversies right now, Meghan Markle shared something that looked totally harmless at first glance. Calm, aesthetic, almost too perfect. But then, just hours later, that same post vanished. Deleted. No explanation, no follow-up, just quietly wiped away. And that's exactly what's got people talking.
Harry the bully! He made me feel worthless is the quote. Shocking new revelations from the journalist Tom Bower, whose devastating new book about the Sussexes, betrayal, power, deceit and the fight for the future of the royal family, paints Harry in the worst possible light.
Because this wasn't just some random upload. It looked carefully planned. Every detail felt intentional. Soft lighting, a cozy vibe, a cup that read, "Cultivate kindness," and a poetry book placed just right. It gave off that polished, picture-perfect energy like it was meant to say something, without actually saying it. Normally, that kind of post wouldn't raise alarms, but the timing, that's where things get interesting.
That is the only explanation behind their truly deranged statement, suggesting that Tom Bower, one of Britain's most respected authors, someone who had a long career of revealing the truth about high-profile figures from Muhammad al-Fayed to Simon Cowell for years before he tackled Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, is somehow a conspiracy theorist for deciding to tell the truth about them.
Just hours before it went live, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had already fired back at major claims coming from a new royal book by Tom Bower. And here's the twist. The book isn't even out yet, but it's already stirring serious buzz. Their response didn't hold back either. They called the claims a deranged conspiracy, accused the author of being obsessed, and basically shut down the whole narrative before anyone even had the chance to read it. So of course, people started putting the pieces together, because right after calling something a deranged conspiracy, suddenly there's this soft, symbolic post about kindness.
Now, Tom Bower is Meghan and Harry's arch nemesis. They detest him. They hate the guy because he wrote the unflattering book Revenge about them, which was an instant bestseller and the beginning of the end for their public reputation. They detest Tom Bower because of the damage that original book did and because he publishes the truth.
There's nothing conspiratorial, there's nothing deranged about this, and Brittany, the use of that word deranged, I think shows that they're the only ones in trouble here.
No direct response, no clear message, just a calm, polished image dropped right into the middle of the chaos. And for a lot of people, it didn't feel natural. It felt calculated, almost like a quiet move to shift attention, to steer the conversation away from the accusations and towards something softer, more controlled. Like saying, "I'm above this," without actually saying it out loud. But if that was the plan, it didn't really go as expected. Instead of settling things down, it made people even more curious. Why post that at that exact moment? Was it a response, a distraction, a signal to critics? Or was it something else? Something closer to damage control? And then came the moment that really flipped everything. The post disappeared, no statement, no explanation, just gone. And that's when things stopped feeling just interesting and started feeling suspicious. Because posting something is one thing, deleting it soon after.
Although the king's youngest son likes to project an image of himself as a kind and caring philanthropist, this book shows Harry to be quite the opposite, a thin-skinned, money-obsessed, status-obsessed grifter, and every bit as much of a preening narcissist as his wife Meghan Markle. my husband.
That sends a completely different message. Now people aren't just looking at the post itself, they're questioning the reaction. Why delete it so fast? Did it backfire? Did it pull in the wrong kind of attention? Or did someone realize the message wasn't landing the way it was supposed to? When it comes to Meghan Markle, nothing about her public image feels sloochy. It's usually precise, controlled, and thought through. Every post has a purpose, every detail feels planned. So when something shows up and then disappears just as quickly, that doesn't feel random at all. It feels like a move, maybe even a correction, something adjusted in real time after seeing how people reacted. And when you line everything up, it gets harder and harder to ignore the pattern. First, big claims start building hype around a book by Tom Bower. Then comes a strong response, calling it a deranged conspiracy. Right after that, a calm, almost coded post about kindness appears, and then silence as that same post quietly vanishes.
He has made a career out of constructing ever more elaborate theories about people he does not know and has never met. Those interested in facts will look elsewhere. Those seeking deranged conspiracy and melodrama know exactly where to find him. But of course, there's nothing deranged and there's nothing conspiratorial about betrayal, power, deceit, and the fight for the future.
That sequence doesn't feel sloochy. It feels like a reaction. And that's exactly why people are starting to look deeper at what might be happening behind the scenes. Because if those claims are truly baseless, like they say, then why respond so fast, even before the book officially drops? Why follow that up with such a carefully styled message? And the biggest question, why delete it so quickly? Those moves don't come across as relaxed or unbothered. They look like pressure. And that's where things start to get really interesting. Because now, it's not just about what's written in the book anymore, it's about how Meghan Markle is reacting, the timing, the tone, and every small decision playing out in public. That deleted post might have seemed small at first, easy to scroll past, but with everything happening around it, it's turned into something much bigger. A moment people keep breaking down, a detail that doesn't fully make sense, and a reaction that, instead of shutting things down, may have made the noise even louder. Because sometimes, what disappears ends up saying the most. The second the Sussex spokesperson dropped their statement, the internet lit up instantly.
And of course, although that original book, Revenge, contains some truly damning claims about the Sussexes, they haven't sued for a syllable written in that book. And they won't sue over this new one either, because it's all true.
Deranged conspiracy, melodrama, obsession. Those were the exact words used to push back against Tom Bower's upcoming book. But that statement wasn't just a response. It gave a glimpse into how tense things might really be behind the scenes. Here's the part that really makes people stop and think. The book isn't even fully out yet, not officially. Only early excerpts started appearing in the Times, and already Meghan Markle and Prince Harry jumped in with a strong response. And for a lot of observers, that timing feels loud. If the claims were truly baseless like they say, then why react so early? Why go full force before people even get the full story? That's the question that keeps coming up again and again.
The truth will bear out generally. People will ignore what they seem as or deem as sort of on a crazy end of the spectrum. But that's not what Tom Bower is doing. Tom Bower is being a journalist here and reporting the facts. And the facts terrify Meghan Markle especially. She can't deal with them. She has to live in her delusional fantasy, and she hates anybody who tries to break it. And unfortunately for her, most of the media tries to break it all the time, and she just immensely struggles with that.
Some insiders are even hinting that this kind of quick reaction doesn't come from confidence, it comes from pressure. Behind the scenes, things reportedly aren't calm either. Sources close to royal circles suggest there's been a serious push to stay ahead of the narrative. We're talking constant communication, watching media closely, tracking reactions, everything lined up to keep control of how the story unfolds. Every move feels timed, every response carefully shaped. But here's the twist. In trying to control the story so tightly, it may be doing the opposite. Critics are going all in. Social media lit up fast with reactions, memes, and non-stop discussion. People are breaking down every detail. That deleted post, every word in the official statement, every little hint that pops up. And online, people don't hold back when something feels too polished or too controlled. Royal commentators are also pointing out a familiar pattern.
Well, they call him a nut job. And by the way, it's my understanding that Harry and Meghan are in total disarray about this new book. I'm hearing from my sources that Harry's freaking out because he's read the preview chapters, he doesn't like it, and he's absolutely terrified about what else is going to come.
Fast responses, strong messaging, and a clear effort to guide public opinion. It's something that's been seen before. Big interviews, carefully timed statements, strategic posts. But now the reaction feels different. There's a sense that people are getting tired of the same playbook. The more the story is managed, the more attention it seems to attract. And instead of calming things down, it's pulling in even more scrutiny. And it's not just the public watching all this unfold. Inside royal circles, people are paying attention too. According to reports, the contrast is becoming impossible to ignore. On one side, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, keep things calm, measured, and low-key. On the other side, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are seen reacting quickly, step by step, in real time. And that difference? People notice it immediately. Then there's another layer adding even more tension: the situation surrounding the Invictus Games. The book claims the event was used as a global stage, pulling focus away from what it was meant to highlight. Representatives for the Sussexes pushed back fast, calling those claims disrespectful and inaccurate.
I find this perfect timing right before they go to Australia. I have ordered and will be doing a full review. Just remember, Harry and Meghan threatened to sue at the drop of a hat, and they have never tried to sue Tom Bower because they know what he writes is true.
But once a narrative like that starts moving online, it spreads quickly. The second people start linking a major event with controversy, it takes on a life of its own. And at that point, controlling it becomes nearly impossible. This is the reality right now. Every move gets watched, every reaction gets amplified, and every deleted post, it gets analyzed even more than the ones that stay up. For Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, this isn't just about facts anymore. It's about perception. It's about who controls the story and whether the audience is still buying it. In a situation this intense, even the smallest move can blow up fast. One word, one post, even the timing of a statement can spark a full media storm overnight. And right now, all eyes are locked on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry as they try to handle a story that's already moving way beyond their control. The public reaction hasn't slowed down for a second. From social media threads to major headlines, every single word in their response is getting picked apart. Some critics are saying that by responding to a book before it's even fully released, they may have actually given it more attention than it would have had otherwise.
Personal brand value had crashed. She said people don't want to be associated with your Netflix shows, and especially not with Meghan. The survey also discovered that Meghan had almost no brand value in the United States. Across the globe, she actually damaged Harry's remaining brand value. Now, accustomed to being hailed as box office, Harry was stunned, writes Tom Bower. Johnny Depp, the actor, had still attracted a lot of money despite his bitter courtroom battles with his ex-girlfriend Amber Heard. Couldn't Harry do the same? So Harry is comparing himself to the rather handsome, swashbuckling movie star Johnny Depp.
And that's where things get tricky. And by jumping in early, some people feel like it made the situation look more serious, like the claims hit a nerve, whether that's true or not. Now, every detail is being used to build a bigger picture. The deleted post, the wording, even phrases like deranged conspiracy, all of it is being replayed and analyzed again and again in the court of public opinion. Experts are split on what this all means, but one thing stands out. This looks like a balancing act under pressure. On one side, there's the need to defend themselves. On the other, the risk of coming across as too reactive. And that line, it's getting thinner by the minute. Some analysts point to a pattern: quick responses, strong statements, and a clear effort to take control of the narrative. But in today's world, especially with social media, every move gets amplified instantly. What might have worked before now spreads faster, hits harder, and sticks longer. And instead of shutting things down, these reactions can sometimes keep the story alive even longer. Behind the scenes, the pressure reportedly keeps building. There's talk of constant coordination, statements, media responses, online monitoring, all happening at once to stay ahead of the story. It's fast, it's intense, and it's all happening in real time. But here's the catch. The more control that's attempted, the more attention it can attract. For some people watching, it starts to feel like too much. The more explanations come out, the more questions follow, and that creates a cycle that's hard to break. At the same time, comparisons are everywhere. On one side, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, continue to keep things calm, steady, and low profile. On the other side, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are seen responding quickly and directly.
And rather than just ignore Tom Bower, or actually decide to put their money where their mouth is and sue the guy, Meghan and Harry instead ran to their favourite news outlets like GB News and People magazine to release the second in a truly bonkers statement. They said Mr. Bower's commentary has long crossed the line from criticism into fixation. This is someone who has publicly stated the monarchy, in fact, depends on actually obliterating the Sussexes from our state of life. Language that speaks for itself.
And that contrast, it stands out immediately to anyone watching. Some observers see it as two completely different styles, one focused on long-term image, the other reacting moment by moment. And depending on who you ask, that difference either helps or hurts. Then there's the added pressure from the Invictus Games situation. The claim that the event became a global stage for personal attention has added even more heat. The Sussex team pushed back, making it clear they see that idea as unfair and inaccurate. But once headlines start rolling, they don't slow down easily. Labels and narratives spread quickly online, and once they stick, they're hard to shake. And that's exactly what's happening here. At this point, it's not just about one book or one statement anymore. It's about perception, momentum, and how every move plays out in front of millions watching in real time. Right now, the fallout feels completely unpredictable.
And of course, Brittany, the whole point of this book is to fast forward to today and talk about the strains in their marriage, especially since Meghan decided to focus almost entirely on her own personal commercial ventures, only using Harry when it suited her.
And that's what makes this situation even more intense. Public trust, which used to be a major strength for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, is starting to shift. Some longtime supporters are questioning the timing of these responses, while others watching from the outside see the early reaction to Tom Bower's book as a sign that ignoring it wasn't an option. And now, everything is under the microscope. Every interview, every statement, every post, all of it gets analyzed instantly. And in a moment like this, even a small mistake can make things spiral fast. The stakes, higher than ever. The Sussex brand, built on stepping away from royal duties and becoming independent global figures, relies heavily on credibility and public perception. But with the non-stop media cycle, mixed with the drama around the book and all the reactions, that image is being tested in real time. One wrong phrase can dominate headlines for days. A single response can turn into endless discussion, reaction videos, and criticism across every platform. Still, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry keep pushing forward. They continue defending their name, shaping their message, and trying to stay in control of how the story unfolds. And people can't stop watching. The tension, the reactions, the constant back and forth, it's all pulling attention from everywhere. Because this isn't just a small moment anymore, it's turned into a full-scale media storm. And at the center of it all is a relationship with the public and the press that still feels complicated, unpredictable, and ready to spark at any moment.
But to get that confirmation from Bower that it was something that the publicist had actually suggested shows just how cynical Meghan is and how prepared she is to use human tragedy to advance herself, something I think we've seen over the past few days, Brittany, with this terribly ill-judged visit to a Californian children's hospital, which she has no connection to, which she's never raised money for.
By responding so directly to Tom Bower's upcoming book, they've stepped right into the spotlight, and there's no easy way out once that happens. Now the world is watching closely as every move plays out. Every word is weighed, every decision gets broken down, and every reaction, it only adds more energy to the story. The drama isn't slowing down either. If anything, it's building. As the book gets closer to release, the pressure keeps rising. This has become a high-stakes situation where image, reputation, and public opinion are all colliding at once. And in a moment like this, even the smallest move can change everything overnight. And then there's the biggest factor of all, trust. That's the one thing that keeps coming up again and again. For Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, every statement, every post, every reaction now carries serious weight. When they pushed back against the book and called it a deranged conspiracy, the goal was clear: protect their reputation. But the reaction that followed told a different story, because public opinion can flip fast. One moment, they're seen as independent voices doing things their own way. The next, critics question whether the responses feel too quick, too defensive, or too intense. And reacting to something that isn't even fully released yet? For some people, that raises even more questions. Now, every word, every tone, every phrase is being replayed across platforms, from Instagram to TikTok, reaching millions in seconds. And once that cycle starts, it doesn't slow down easily. And it's not just the public watching. Commentators are starting to say the same thing louder than ever. Trust, which once held everything together for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, is now being tested from every angle. What used to be carefully planned messaging is now running straight into the reality of modern media, fast, viral, and non-stop. And here's the twist. The same platforms that helped build their image are now working against them. Social media can lift you up fast, but it can turn just as quickly. Every post, every reaction, every statement spreads instantly. And once it's out there, there's no pulling it back. Now, compare that to how Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, operate. They're often seen as steady, controlled, and consistent. Every move feels planned, every appearance calm and measured. That kind of approach builds a certain level of trust over time, and people notice the difference immediately. Because when Prince William shows up somewhere, the reaction is simple and positive. But when Meghan Markle responds to criticism or pushes back early, the reaction online is very different, louder, more intense, and full of questions. And then there's the book itself, which has become a major talking point before it's even fully released. Some of the claims being discussed are serious and highly debated. The Sussex team has already pushed back strongly, making it clear they don't agree with how things are being presented. But by stepping in so early, it's added even more attention to the situation. Because in the public eye, timing matters. When a response comes before the full story is even out, some people start asking why. And once those questions start, they don't stop easily. At the same time, from their side, this isn't just about headlines. It's about protecting everything they've built. Their path away from royal duties created a whole new life built on public image, partnerships, and global attention. And for that to work, trust plays a huge role. If people start seeing them as too reactive or too focused on controlling the story, that trust can start to fade. And once that happens, every new statement becomes a test. Will people believe it, or will it create even more doubt? Even behind the scenes, there are signs of pressure. Reports suggest that timing, tone, and messaging are all being watched closely. Every post, every release, every response is carefully checked, because one wrong move can shift everything. And the media, it keeps the spotlight on at all times. Certain phrases, strong reactions, and big claims quickly turn into headlines. Then come the reactions, the discussions, the endless breakdowns across platforms, and before long, the story grows bigger than the original moment. That's how fast things move now. In the end, this all comes down to one thing: trust. It's not something you can see, but it shapes everything. It drives how people react, what they believe, and how long a story sticks around. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry can respond, clarify, and push back, but in today's media world, trust is fragile. Once it starts to slip, it's hard to rebuild. And with Tom Bower's book getting closer to release, the pressure keeps rising. Because in the court of public opinion, every move counts. One small mistake, one poorly timed response, and the entire narrative can shift overnight. And if you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.